philosophy and medicine, jurisprudence too, and to my cost theology, with ardent labor studied through, and here I stand with all my lore, poor fool, no wiser than before. I lead up, down, across, and to and fro all my pupils by the nose, and learn that we in truth can nothing, can nothing know. This in my heart, like fire doth burn, like fire doth burn. 'Tis true, I've more cunning than all your dull tribe, magistrate, doctor, priest, parson, and scribe. Scruple no doubt come not to enthrall me. Neither can devil nor hell now appall me. Hence also my heart must all pleasure forego, must all pleasure forego. For myself to magic I give, therefore myself to magic I give, in a hope through spirit, voice, and might, secrets now veiled to bring to light, that I no more with aching brow need speak of what I nothing know, that I the force may recognize that binds creation's inmost energies, a vital power, embryo seeds, the and fling the trade instead of nature's living sphere, created for mankind of old. Brute skeletons surround me here, and dead man's bones in smoke and mold. Spirits, I feel you hovering near. Make answer. If my voice you At this sudden spectacle through every sense, what sudden ecstasy of joy is flowing? Am I a god? What light intense? How things live and work, never blending, weave one vast whole from being's ample range. A show alone. Where shall I grasp thee, infinite nature? Where? Clouds gather over me, the moon conceals her light, the lamp is quenched, vapors are quivering round my head. Flash the red beams down from the vaulted roof. A shuddering horror floats and seizes me. And seizes me. I feel its spirit, 'tis now preoccupied. 'Tis thou art hovering. Unveil thyself, unveil thyself, unveil thyself! Ah, how my heart is riven now, each sense sense with eager palpitation is strained to catch some new sensation. I feel my heart surrendered unto thee. Thou must, though life should be the fee. The monster to confront it first. The spell of form must be rehearsed. Salamander, vanish in the fiery glow. Undine, rushingly together flow. Sylphine, shimmer in the meteor's glow. Incubus, hear the ring that homely aid. Step forth, the spell concluded thus. None of the foreigner can the beast. He grins at me untroubled as before. I have not hurt him in the least. A spell of fear thou now shalt hear. Art thou, comrade fell, fugitive from hell? See then inside before which incline the lucky troops of hell. Canst thou, monster scorned, see the virgin born, unspeakable, diffused throughout the heavenly sphere, shamefully abused, transpierced by nail and spear. Lights of the master sit now lay, with holy fire I will scourge thee yet. Wait not the light that lies in the triple glowing light. Wait not the light of all my art in fullest measure. This then the kernel of the brute, a traveling scholar. Why I needs must smile. Thy name, with gentlemen like you indeed. The inward essence from the name we read, as all too plainly it doth appear when Beelzebub, a destroyer, a liar, meets the ear. Thy name, who then art thou? Thy worthy avocation now, I guess, wholesale annihilation won't prevail. So thou art beginning on a smaller scale. What sorry devil hast thou to bestow? And how must I thy services repay? The devil is an egotist, I know. And for heaven's sake, it is not his way kindness to anyone to show. Let the condition plainly be expressed. Such a domestic is a dangerous guest. A contract penned and dust, a demand from me, is not enough. By the word I gave, my doom forevermore is cast. Spirit of evil, what dost thou marble, parchment, paper, dost desire? Shall I with pen or with pencil write? Thy choice is free, all the same to me. Blood is an ink of a very special kind. Be not afraid that I shall break my word. The scope of all my energy is in exact accordance with my vow. Vainly I have aspired too high. I'm on a level but with such as thou. Me the great spirit scorned, defied. Nature from me herself doth hide. Rent is the web of thought. My mind doth knowledge of every kind. In depths of sensual pleasure drowned. Let us our fiery passion still, enwrapped in magic's veil profound, plunge we in time's tempestuous flow. Stem we the rolling surge of chance. There may alternate weal and woe, success and failure as they can, mingle and shift in changeful dance. Excitement is thus free. For man. you'll pledge yourself to be my servant here. Still at my back, alert and prompt to but when together yonder we appear, but when together yonder we appear, then I shall do the same for thee. But how are we to start? Horse, steeds, servants, carriage, where are they? I see, we've but to spread your mantle wide. It will serve her on through the air to ride. No heavy baggage need we take when our bold excursion make. A little magic lifts us from the earth, aloft in the air, like laden with just with a still. I start with joy, my new juggling witchcraft I detest, doth promise that in this foul nest of badness I shall be restored. Must I seek counsel from an ancient dame, and can she by these rites abhorred take 30 winters from my frame? Woe's me if thou not better can suggest. Hope has already fled my breast, hath neither nature nor a noble mind a youth potion yet devised of any kind. I fain would know it. I loathe the light performance features. Why must we to this witch apply? Will none but this whole beldam do? Canst not thyself the potion brew? This loathsome cheat, this senseless stuff. over for me poor. Tell me to what doth all this tend? Where will these frantic gestures end? Will this make me young again? Will it? Will it? Tell me. Just one goblet full. Will it restore me to my youthful form? The hag doth has in fever rave. What nonsense doth the hag propound? My brain it doth well nigh confound. 100,000 fools or more. Methinks I hear in chorus roar, and me the liquor without delay. I'm not afraid, and to the very brim the goblet fill. Enough! Cease! Cease, I pray. Now drink it down with no further delay. I gulp it down. I feel it now penetrate through every part. How youth stirs and gambols in my heart. What do I see? What form is mirrored here? What form is mirrored here? Whose charms transcend the loveliness of earth? A face like that I never saw before. Never saw before. Oh, love, to waft me to her sphere, to me the swiftest pinions lend. Alas, if I remain not rooted in this place, veiling mists obscured, model of beauty in form and face. Is it possible? Is it possible? Hath woman chosen so rare? Is this a such a pearl on earth be found? Cannot so exquisite on earth be This girl thou must win for me. She's not too young. She must be mine. Plan all things to achieve this end. Sir Moralizer, prithee pause. This her room? Not every maiden is so neat. Be gone and leave us, I entreat. Well, come, sweet twilight gloom, which reigns through this dim place of hallowed rest. Fond yearning love inspire my breast, feeding on hope sweet, dew thy blissful face. What stillness surrounds me, content and order all around. What fullness in this poverty, in this small cell, what bliss profound. This hut becomes a paradise, and here, how thrills my pulse with strange delight. Here I could linger hours untold. Thou nature didst envision bright, the embryo angel here unfold. Here lay the child, her bosom warm with life, while sleeped in slumber's dew, who perfect grace her godlike form with pure and hallowed weavings grew. And thou, here, what seekest thou? How wells my inmost being now? What would thou hear? What makes my heart so sore? Unhappy Faust, I know thee no more, I know thee no more. Do I a magic atmosphere in hell? Ere while my passion would not brook delay, now in a pure love dream I melt away. Are we the sport of every passing gale? Should she return and enter now, how wouldst thou rule thy guilty flame? Great blockhead, thou wouldst hide thy brow. Great blockhead, thou wouldst hide thy brow, and at her feet sink down with shame. Where? Yes, I see her on the street below. Take me down to the street, let me win her tonight. Be gone and leave us, I entreat. I shall tread softly and be discreet. Fair lady, may I thus make free to offer you my arm and I am Henry Faust. Stay, prithee, stay. Thou dost forgive my boldness, dost not blame the liberty I take this day, when from church doth lately wend thy way. One glance, one word of thine doth charm me more than all the world's wisdom or sages' lore. Trust me, my angel, what doth pass for love, full of this self-conceit and blindness? Trust me, my angel, hear the utterance of a human heart, sweet angel mine, sweet angel mine. Nay, do not tremble, love. Let my hand touching, let this glance reveal feelings, all power of speech above, to give oneself a wholly, and to feel a joy that lasts eternal proof. Eternal joy. Yes, its end would be despair. No end, it cannot end. You ask me, please, how is it with religion in my thinking? In God do I believe, my darling? Who dare say, yes, I in God believe? Question priest or sage, and they seem in the answer you receive to mock the questioner. Sweet one, my meaning do not misconceive. Who that can feel and sustains he not. Himself doth not the firm setteth beneath us lie, and beaming tenderly with looks of love, climb not the everlasting stars on high. Do I not gaze into thine eyes? Then call it what thou wilt, call it bliss, art, love, God. I have no name for it. 'Tis feelings all. Names are but sound, names are but smoke, and clouding heaven's glow. What are you doing, sweet angel, angel mine? Is that a flower? Why pick the petals? What sayest thou? He loves me not. He loves me not. He loves me. Let this flower gain my darling. Let it be a heavenly messenger of truth. I love you so. Knowest thou the meaning of I loveth thee? Knowest thou? Knowest thou? Ah, tonight the boldly one run for me, but since your mother sleep is light, were we surprised by her upon the spot, we should for certain be dead. Dear angel sweet, there's no cause for dreading. Here's a little potion. Give her just 3 drops, mix them in her drink. That is all that's needed. It will make her deeply sleep. It will not harm her. 'Twill steep her nature in a deep, deep and soothing sleep. A deep and soothing sleep. What do I not for thy dear sake? It will not harmful prove. geometric sphere. Lead us on our flickering guide, pilot well our bold career. That we may with onward stray gain yon vast and desert waste. Tell me, stand we motionless, or so forward do we press? Of things round us whirl and fly, rocks and trees make strange, strange grimaces. Dazzling meteors, dazzling meteors, change their places, how they puff and multiply. How the fierce tempest sweeps around upon my neck, it strikes with sudden shock. A murky vapor thickens the night. Hark! Through the woods, the tempest roar. The owlets flit in wild, wild affright. No spirit of contradiction. Lead, I'll follow straight. I'd rather be above, though I'm a stone, a ray, fire and eddying smoke I view. Impetuous millions to the devil ride, full many a riddle will be there untied. Young witches, there I see, naked and bare, naked and bare, and old ones veiled more prudently. May this wild scene my senses spare. It seems to be a perverted fair, naked and bare. Who's that, I pray? Lilith, Adam's first wife, of her long hair. I must beware, when in her curls a man she doth ensnare. He will not soon escape, I promise you. I saw an apple tree, two beauteous apples charmed mine eyes. I climbed forthwith to reach the prize. Apples still fondly I desire, from paradise it hath been so. Feelings of joy you now inspire, to beauties in your garden grow. Once a weird vision came to me, therein I saw a rifted tree. It had a hole in open view, but as it was, it pleased me too. So beg most humbly to salute the gallant with the cloven hoof, and I a poem ready here. If you are plugging, do not fear. In the dance so bravely sung, out of her mouth a small red mouse there sprung. Then I saw Mephisto. Seest thou there, standing afar off, a lone child, pale and fair? Slow from the spot her drooping form she tears, and seems with shackled feet to move along. I own within me the delusion strong that she the likeness of my Gretchen wears. I verily a corpse's eyes are those which there was no fond loving hand to close. That is the bosom I so fondly pressed, that is sweet Gretchen's form so oft caressed. What pain, what torture, vainly I attempt to turn from that piteous look away. Immured in the dungeon that it should come to this, that it should come to this. Perfidious, worthless spirit, and this thou hast concealed from me. Stand, stand, I stand, roll in malicious rage thy fiendish eyes, stand and defy me with thine insupportable presence, delivered over to the power of evil spirits, and the judgment of unpitying humanity. And me, the while thou wert lolling with empty dissipation, concealing from me a growing anguish, and leaving her to perish, leaving her to perish, leaving her to perish without my help. Didst I hear you correctly? Didst thou say she is not the first? Hound! Liar! Execrable monster! Back with him, oh thou infinite, infinite spirit! Take him again, back into his favorite shape, that he may crawl before me in the nest. Let me spurn him with my thought. Reprobate, reprobate, viper monster devil cursed. Whoa, whoa, you dare to say not the first. Curse you, monster scorn, fugitive from hell. I love thee, cease to gnash thy ravenous fangs at me. Great and glorious spirit, thou who didst vouchsafe to reveal thyself unto me, thou who dost know my very heart and soul, why forge me with this devil cursed killed her mother. Why lingerest thou at the fatal door? How can I look on her face once more? Save her I must, I must. Gretchen, it's Faust. Hush, hush, be still. I've come to set you free. Shh, thou wilt wake the jailer if you cry. Ah, she knows me not. 'Tis I, thy Faust. Can I endure this bitter agony? Thy lover at thy feet bends low. Gretchen, Gretchen, I bend low to loose the bonds of wretchedness and of woe. Come, follow me, dearest love, be bold. I'll cherish thee with ardor thousandfold. Let the past forgotten be. I entreat thee, follow me. Day dawns, 'twill be too late. Too late. Oh,
My name is Gregory Isaacs, and during this first intermission of the Faust, I'm visiting with my dear friend and voice teacher, mentor, Martha Lipton, who had a distinguished career in opera and oratorio and recital, and then a second career later in life as a professor of voice at Indiana University. We are here visiting in your lovely Bloomington home. So tell me about your debut at the Metropolitan Opera.
Faust, 50th anniversary of the Metropolitan Opera's opening, and I believe that was the Faust originally. I've been thinking about that. I think it was the original Faust, and then 50 years later. And this was a young mezzo making her debut, opening night at the Met, and that was very exciting.
Must have been a nerve-wracking occasion.
It was. They walked me up and down backstage. I remember Edward Johnson was the intendant at that time, and he had me by the arm and stalwart, hold those legs up, and I was wearing a doublet and hose in those days, and it went very well, though.
I was very nervous the opening night of my Faust as well, because it was a new art form. Something like this had never existed. There was never an opera for one character, much less one written for piano and for a small theater. Usually I'm used to having the orchestra in between me and the audience, and I didn't know quite how anyone would react, or even if they would know what I was doing. I'm talking to people that aren't there, and it was a bit nerve-wracking also.
I can imagine, but you carried it off wonderfully well. Well, you used characters, didn't you? You used friends to rehearse with.
I had people stand in, to rehearse.
Yes.
So then you left the Met.
Yes.
Sort of you traveled back and forth for a while.
I came here in 1961 and traveled back and forth doing performances at the Met, and that just was not really a very comfortable situation. I would teach here for a week and go back there and do a performance and back here and teach for a week.
And teaching takes a great toll on your voice. You're talking a lot.
Impossible, yes. So I decided to stay here.
And then I arrived in 1971, looking for a voice teacher with experience in 20th century music, who had done all these premieres and who sang so beautifully. And of course I thought I knew everything.
Well, you knew almost everything.
And then 20 years later, I show up on your doorstep with my own opera, asking you to help me get through it, because, you know, when I first tried to sing it, I barely made it through the first act. It was...
Really?
Yes. I found that I was...
Couldn't you change the notes?
No, I thought about it. Because the range is quite extensive, you know.
Yes, it is.
From a low G to a high B natural, so... No, I didn't change anything. You worked on it with me, and I think your advice about projecting the words was the most important.
Very. Most important, of course.
Especially since I have no one that I was really talking to.
Yes. Yes, and the text is so beautiful.
Yes. In an interesting translation by Anna Swanwick, who, a Victorian lady, famous for her translations in her day and now completely forgotten.
Of course, I knew it in German and it sounded peculiar to me. I knew it in French as well, but I knew it very well in German because I read the original story many times.
Yes.
I was fascinated by Faust.
Yes.
Funnily enough.
And the Goethe was such an interesting character in himself, you know, along with Beethoven, one of the giants of all time. And I was a little afraid of approaching such a masterwork in some ways, but in other ways I felt, since we were exploring a new way of presenting opera, perhaps a familiar story was a better way to go.
I think so. Well, you've accomplished it.
You showed me an interesting edition here.
This book is about 50 years old, and it has some wonderful woodcuts in it. I'm hoping maybe you'll have time to show the audience one or two of them. It's the story of Faust, and in a wonderful English translation, and was given to me by a very dear friend, and who was familiar with Alexander Moisi, who had done the play, a great Austrian actor, and I was familiar with the German, so I was translating the German and into the English and back again into the German for years. I was crazy about this book.
And of course, when you sang the Gounod, that was in French.
Yes.
And
so I know it in 3 languages.
but fortunately for our audience, mine is in English.
Yes.
And thanks to you, understandable English.
Oh yes, very.
But the role itself really presented a great challenge, and I really appreciate your help in helping me get through it.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Welcome back. During this intermission, we are pleased and honored to be in the Ann Arbor studio of one of America's premier composers, Dr. Leslie Bassett, and for many years a professor of composition at the University of Michigan in Ann Arbor, where I had the honor of working with him as an undergraduate. His list of awards are so extensive, I must refer to your resume. Pulitzer Prize,
read it all.
Prix de Rome, Kutzewicki Guggenheim Fellowships, Fulbright Fellowship, National Endowment for the Arts commissions, every major symphony in America, and I just noticed Nadia Boulanger on here. Quite a distinguished career as a composer, and an equally distinguished career as a teacher. How did you manage to keep those combined?
It's a matter of survival, I suppose. When you start out as a composer, you don't expect to make your living at it. I mean, it's very hard to do. It's taken me until this point to where I could probably live on my income. But I enjoyed teaching. I was trained as a teacher, and I enjoy working with young idealists and people who have imaginative ideas in composing. And, so this has been part of my pay, if you wish, is to be able to steal from some of my young colleagues.
I remember arriving as a brash young freshman with 2 completed symphonies and a piano sonata, all of which I was very proud of course. And you saying, yes, that's all very nice. Let's start at the beginning.
Right? You know, clear the decks.
Yes. And giving me a grounding that is the foundation. I always think of the bottom row of the cannonballs as what determines the shape, and it's a foundation I still am very highly dependent on.
Well, those early large pieces are indicative of ambition and aspiration, and that's not bad. So if then you can make the language and the craft of the piece equal to the ambition, you maybe have something that would be pretty good.
And so now I brought you when it was finished, I didn't have enough nerve to bring it on the road, an opera, perhaps unique, 1 character for piano, written on a small scale.
We all know about one-man bands, but here's a one-man opera. I think it's very interesting. It is indeed unique.
Well, it sort of was the mother of invention. I had it's very difficult to get an opera produced, and I wanted to write one, and so I had seen Lily Tomlin's piece in the theater called The Search for Intelligent Life in the Universe, where it was just one person on an empty stage, and I thought, well, if we eliminate the orchestra and we eliminate the chorus and we throw out the soprano, we can probably produce this opera for a very reasonable amount of money and get it performed.
Especially if you sing it.
Especially if I sing it. Although I hated to give myself that double exposure to the critics, because they could have liked the piece and hated the performance, or vice versa. Although I'm pleased to say that didn't happen, but it was a possibility I thought about.
Yes.
And so what's happening with you now? We have a concerto for orchestra that just was done.
Yes, it was done by the Detroit Symphony, on commission by the Symphony with the Kutzewicki Foundation. It was 2 years ago when that premiere happened. In fact, I just returned last week from Northwestern University, where it had been performed again by their student orchestra, and beautifully played.
Well, I know as a player, where I sat in the very back of the violin section, practically off stage, that your music is very exciting to play, and it's very challenging to the performers, and I know they all enjoy it tremendously. So now you're retired, you have all the time to compose, you are doing some teaching?
Well, I'm filling in at the moment at the university, but basically I'm not teaching anymore. I'm practicing my primary profession, which is composer.
And so we're looking forward to lots of new works from your pen. And
I have lots of performances, and they go on all over the country.
And we're very excited. I highly recommend, if our listeners have not heard any of Dr. Bassett's music, I highly recommend it. It's not only exciting to play, but audiences, as we saw with the Concerto for Orchestra, are standing and cheering.
Yes, it does happen. It's very good therapy for a composer, as you know.
Thank you very much for being with us, Dr. Bassett.